Alrighty, got the glasses, I've kind of got the shirt, but I'm missing one last thing. Oh yeah! Alrighty, there we go. Now I've got the pens. Let's do this. Angry Video Game Nerd, the movie. So the Angry Video Game Nerd movie is a continuation, or I guess you could say the film adaptation, based on the popular Angry Video Game Nerd series that was on YouTube and currently on Game Trailers, Cinemassacre. The movie basically takes place as James Rolfe, aka the Angry Video Game Nerd. It is pretty much showing him reviewing a game, and he goes off to work to Game Cops. There's this new enterprise, I kid you not, that's called Cockburn Enterprises. So Cockburn Enterprises sees the fame that the infamous E.T. game brought back in like the 80s, and so one of the developers basically has a proposal to make E.T. 2, but a game that's even worse than the original game. So then as the new game comes out, the nerd gets all these requests to review the original E.T. And then the whole thing about the Atari landfill is brought apart, and so the nerd Cooper, who is his friend that helps him do the reviews, and a new character named Mandy decided to go to the Atari landfill and the Nevada desert, and so they decided to try and dig up the game so that the nerd can review E.T. once and for all, but they get into some trouble with some military folk and guns go blazing. I was a big fan of the series when I came out, but after a certain time, I felt like the nerd's quality episodes, I don't know why, the humor didn't seem as funny to me after a while. But after a movie was announced, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'd like to see where they would take that. It's available for rent on Vimeo just in case if anyone is wondering where I saw it. And you know what, for a movie that was made on just about a $325,000 budget, he did a pretty damn good job with it. So of course, yes, if you're a fan of the nerd's humor, you are going to be laughing your ass off the whole time. Certain quotes come back like, it's easier to do a handstand while taking a shit. There's a whole bunch of video game puns, and plus there's a lot of the nerd's trademarks like the boxes and everything when there's a chasing. I was really surprised on how much they accomplished with such a low of a budget, seriously. There were certain parts of the movie where they made it look like a video game, where I was like, what? Seriously, props to the visual effects team. I was actually blown away by how cool it looked. The acting is overall not too bad, actually. James Rolfe in his first feature film role does a pretty good job as the nerd, of course. How did he not know how to play his own character? The girl who worked for Cockburn Industry while also working with the nerd was great. The guy who played Cooper was also really cool, but at some points he really got on my nerves. The guy who played the general though, oh my god. That guy was hysterical. I loved him. Even this animatronic alien, the guy who voiced the alien, good job, because that got me the most laughs. There are some areas where I was truly blown away by how the visual effects areas looked. And yes, there are some parts where I was like, okay, I understand the budget, James, but I feel like you could have done a tad, you could have just cleaned that up just a tad bit more. Like there was this one shot where this army girl is just going like this, and out of nowhere she just gets cut out of the frame immediately. One thing is getting really over the top. There are parts where I was like, what? I think there were even some parts where the nerd was like, are you fucking kidding me? And that's how I was reacting at some parts. I do feel like there were some scenes that did stretch on for a tad bit too long. Hearing the AVGN theme song once again actually did bring me goosebumps. Now if you're like me, and if you felt like, you know, after some time the quality and the AVGN web series kind of dipped down a little bit, you're gonna probably feel like that quality of the new episodes kind of went into the film. You're probably gonna find some things in this movie really stupid. There are some parts of this movie where you have to turn your brain completely off and just have fun. But there are some parts where I was like, you know, James, I feel like you have the potential to be so good as a filmmaker. I really do believe you have the potential to be a good filmmaker. If you're a huge fan of the nerd, you're going to love this movie. But if you're not as much of a fan anymore like I am, even though I did get dressed up for this thing, you're probably going to find this movie just good and not amazing. Overall, AVGN the movie feels like it is literally a fan movie. Well, then again, James Rolfe did say it is a fan movie for fans, made by fans. It was a pretty damn good movie, I have to say. I'm gonna give AVGN the movie a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I did like this movie a lot, guys. There were some moments that if they were done a tad bit better, this movie could have been amazing. Alright guys, so comment and let me know below. Have you guys seen the AVGN web series? And if you have, what's your favorite episode of the web series? And now if you guys have not known, I am back into my gaming reviews. As you can tell by the red background of my Wolf Among Us review, I am staging a little contest for you guys. One of my subscribers, Luke the ODST, commented on my Wolf Among Us review saying, dude, you should probably think of a new background. But then that's the thing, something sparked in my head. I have conceived a new idea for a new intro in my head, so I'm gonna tell it to you guys right now. I'm gonna hold the contest for you guys to see who out of all of you guys can make the best intro and outro sequence for video game reviews. I want a total 8-bit intro with my, the Austin Putnam Presents. I want the text in 8-bit to going to an 8-bit version of Master of Puppets, showing my outro. I want the song to be an 8-bit outro of Battery. 8-bit intro, 8-bit text with an 8-bit version of Master of Puppets. If you can do that, awesome. November 10th is the deadline, yes. 2 months to do this, 2 months. I'm planning for my first review to do this will be my Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time review for my 3DS. Starting now, make the best 8-bit intro and the best 8-bit outro you could possibly conceive. Upload it to YouTube unlisted, send me the link to the video to my email, and whoever makes the best intro and outro 8-bit, I'm gonna say that again, 8-bit, will get a shout out from me. And by the way guys, tonight I am streaming night 6 and maybe night 7 of Five Nights at Freddy's on Twitch TV. Yep, I am streaming the final nights. I'm gonna try and beat the game tonight. Link is in the description. But yes, I look forward to seeing you guys tonight on Twitch TV. Until the next review, I will see you guys next time.